Okay, Mrs. Hart, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, everyone, so I've said hello to Tra Mi. Who else can I see? Feng Ling. Hello, Feng Ling.
Hello, teacher.
How are you, Feng Ling?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Thank you for turning your camera on. Hello, Bao Trang. Hello, Bao
Hello.
Trang. How are
Hello.
you?
Hello. I'm fine, always.
Good. Very positive, Bao Trang. Always fine. That's good. Hello, Nok Kian. Can you hear me, Nok Kian?
Hello, teacher.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good. Hello, Dat. Welcome to class, Dat.
Hi, teacher.
Hi. Hello, Nok2. Nok2.
Hello, teacher.
How are you, Nok2?
I'm fine.
Good. Hello, Kang Ling.
Hello, teacher.
How are you?
I'm still great. How about you?
Good, thank you. Good. Are you in Hanoi or Lang Son today?
I'm in Hanoi.
You're still in Hanoi. Okay,
The
good.
weekend I will come back to Hanoi.
Sorry, you will come back?
At at the weekend I will stay in Hanoi, but in the daily week I will just stay in Lang Son.
Okay. So what you say in English, how to say that correctly, you say, during the week, I will go back to Lang Son, but in the weekend, I will come back to Hanoi. That is how you say it in English, because actually, I'm glad you mentioned this, Kang Ling. This is a good point. Many people make a mistake with this English. Okay. So when you are somewhere like Hanoi, for example, where you are now, from Hanoi, you go to somewhere else. Okay. You always go from where you are now. And then you come means you come back. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So because you are in Hanoi now, you say, during the week, I will go to Lang Son, but in the weekend, I will come back to Hanoi. Okay. But if you were in Lang Son now, it would be the opposite. I would say, during the week, I will go to Hanoi. At the weekend, I will come back to Lang Son. Okay. So
Yes.
you always come to wherever you are, all right, and you go to the place you are traveling to. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, I understand.
I know, a little bit confusing. Anyway, welcome to class. Hello, Bao Ling.
Hello,
Hello,
teacher.
hello, Bao Ling. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, now Bao Ling, sorry I sent you a message about the army. I sent you a message about the army, didn't I? In my reply to you.
Yes, I don't know why you
That's
sent me.
right. Not
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I got you confused. One of my student in my other class has a name similar to yours. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why. So I got you and the other student mixed up. So don't worry. The message wasn't for you. Okay.
Yes.
It was for the other student who was doing army training. Okay. Feng Ni. Hello, Feng Ni. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Viet Ang. How are you?
I'm good.
Great. Okay, everyone. Welcome to class, and sorry to keep you waiting. I was just helping Mrs. Ha with a question. So let's get, unless there are any questions, we will get straight on to the lesson. So, except not this lesson. Hang on. I will share with you again. Okay. Okay, everyone, you should be able to see the lesson sheet. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a mixture of speaking, which we're going to be doing in just a moment. Then I will look at your homework, which you did for me, and then we will look at finishing the pie graph. After we finish the pie graph, by the way, we will move on to two more of the task one question types. One is the map, which we haven't done much of, and the other is the process. which we haven't done much of either, but we will come to those in a little while. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to be doing a little bit of speaking practice. I want you to use these words here, which you can see in a two-phrase sentence. For example, like ambitious, ambitious. My sister is very ambitious. One day she wants to be the boss of her own company. What does ambitious mean? Trami? Trami.
Like you, like someone very want to get something.
Someone who wants to be very successful is a
Yes.
better description, okay? Someone who is ambitious is someone who wants to be successful at something. You know,
Yes.
maybe you want to be a great student, maybe you want to make a lot of money, okay? Things like that. Just means you really want to be successful, or you want to be best in your class, something like that. Trami, would you say you are very ambitious or not?
I think so because
Yeah.
I always want to be a top 5 student in my class.
Okay, good. You are ambitious. Okay, that's what ambitious means. Thank you, Trami. Okay, Feng Ling. Feng Ling.
Yes.
Okay, Feng Ling, can you please do blunt for me? Do you remember what blunt means? Blunt. Someone who is blunt. Do you remember? If not, I will tell you.
Blunt or
Can you remember?
it's like
Blunt. Someone who is blunt. Someone who is blunt. So blunt is it's an adjective, describes someone's personality. But someone who is blunt, do you know what that is? Okay, so everyone, someone who is blunt is very they are very frank in their speaking. Okay, almost to the point of maybe not being polite. So someone who is blunt, for example, okay, a teacher who is blunt might say to a student who only got maybe 5 out of 10 in the test, the teacher might say to the student, that was a terrible score, you are very stupid. So the teacher is being very blunt. All right, they are telling the student exactly what they think, being very frank, being maybe too honest. Feng Ling, does this make sense?
yes.
Okay, Feng Ling, can you give me a two-phrase sentence, just like ambitious here, but using the word blunt? Can you try? So the first part of the sentence would be something like, my sister is very blunt. My sister is very blunt, and then give me an example of your sister being blunt. Can you do that, Feng Ling? Sorry, I can't hear you. Your microphone is off.
Sorry. My brother is very blunt. He
If you can't think of a real example, make one up. Make one up, Feng Ling. Okay. Remember, blunt means to be very frank, means to be too honest in a way, too honest.
asking something.
Okay, I'll give you I know this one's a little bit hard. I'll give you an example. My father is very blunt. He always says exactly what he thinks of me. Okay, my father is very blunt. He always says exactly what he thinks of me. Okay, we'll try again. Bao Trang, Bao Trang.
Yes.
Okay, blunt, please, Bao Trang. Blunt. By the way, I'm giving you these words to help improve your vocabulary. Of course, that's why I'm telling you these words. Blunt. Can you give me any? So using that.
My mother blunt me because I can't cook rice with the rice cooker.
Not quite. You could say my mother is very blunt.
Yes.
She complains to me about my cooking. Does that make sense? My
Yes.
mother is very blunt. She complains to me about my cooking. So in other words, Bao Trang, your mother doesn't say, oh, Bao Trang, thank you for trying to cook the rice. Better luck next time. Okay. She doesn't say that. She would say something, Bao Trang, that rice is terrible. Okay, that is being blunt. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Not Kian. Not Kian. Not Kian.
I'm still speaking.
Okay, now I can hear you, not Kian. Can you try blunt for me, please?
Mm,
So please, everyone, you need to listen to what I'm saying to the other students and what the other students are doing so that you understand these words. So do you understand what blunt is, not Kian?
yes. But
Okay, can you try a sentence, please?
My teacher is very blunt. She told us about. She told us everything about. She told us everything she knows about the lesson.
Okay, not quite. Okay, first part of the sentence was good, not Kian. My teacher is very blunt. Okay, my teacher is very blunt. Okay, then you would say it's nothing to do with the lesson or knowledge. It would be something like, my teacher is very blunt. She always tells us when we fail. Okay, my teacher is very blunt. She always tells us when we fail. Dat, can you try, please? Dat.
Yes.
Can you try a sentence with blunt, please?
My dad is blunt. He'll say anything he think about me.
Okay, my dad is blunt. He always tells me what he thinks of me. Okay, that is the way to structure the sentence. My dad is blunt, or my dad is very blunt. He always tells me exactly what he thinks of me. Knock two, can you try, please? Knock two.
My friends is very blunt because they always accuse me, although I didn't do mistake.
Okay, can you try that one more time, please, Knock two? One more time. My friend is very blunt because
My friend is very blunt because they always accuse me, although I didn't do a mistake.
okay. Okay, again, not quite. So blunt just means to express your honest opinion about something. Okay, even though maybe the other person will be hurt when you say this. Bao Ling, do you understand what I mean by this?
Yes.
Okay, can you try a sentence, please, Bao Ling?
My friend is quite blunt. She say exactly what she thinks without trying to be polite.
Good. Okay, perfect. Very good, Baoling. So Baoling, everyone has the correct idea. My friend is quite blunt. She always says exactly what she thinks without trying to be polite. I'll give you one more example of this. My friend is very blunt. He always tells me when he thinks my haircut is stupid. Okay, my friend is very blunt. He always tells me when he thinks my haircut looks stupid. Okay, so remember blunt. Blunt is a word you use to describe someone who is maybe too honest, who always gives their honest opinion, whether it hurt you or not, or hurt someone else or not. Does that make sense to you, Fung Ni?
Yes.
Okay, Fung Ni. So we'll go to a different word now. Judgmental, Fung Ni, judgmental. Do you know what judgmental means?
I understand, but I can't think any question.
You can't think of any sentence. You can't think of a sentence. My mother is very judgmental. Okay, she always she always looks down on poor people. Does that make sense, Fung Ni?
Yes.
Okay, someone who is judgmental is someone who is always looking at other people and judging them for maybe either their clothes or the way they look, or for the job they do, or for how intelligent they think someone is. Kang Ling, can you try this one, please? Judgmental. Judgmental.
Okay. My sister is a judgmental person. She's always complain and just other person without without talking to them. Maybe.
Okay, yeah, okay, you have the right idea. My sister is quite judgmental. She always complains about other people without talking to them. Okay, that's fine, something like that. Okay, Kang Ling. Okay, Viet Ang, can you try judgmental, please?
My teacher so judgmental. Her always underestimate her student when they wrong.
Okay, my teacher is so judgmental. She always underestimate her students. It's good, Viet Ang. She always underestimate her students. All right. So judgmental is just to do with people who judge other people. Like I say, on the way they look, maybe on the clothes they wear, on maybe how much money they have. For example, I could say, I think that person over there must be very stupid because their clothes are a funny color. It's being judgmental. Okay, I am assuming someone is stupid because I don't like their clothes. Does that make sense, Trami?
Yes.
Okay, we'll try another one. Nosy, Trami. Do you remember what nosy means?
I don't think I know this word.
Okay, nosy. Nosy means you are too interested in other people's business, what other people are doing. Okay. All right. So you maybe see two of your friends talking at school, and instantly you think, oh, what are they talking about? I must find out. Okay, that is being nosy. Does that make sense, Trami? Hello, Trami. Can't hear you.
Hi, teacher. Can you hear me?
I can now. I can now. So does that make sense, Trami?
Can you explain again? My Wi-Fi connections was unstable.
Okay, I'll try again. Okay, so maybe try me, you see two of your friends talking at school, and straight away you think, what are they talking about? I want to find out.
Oh, yes.
Okay, that is being nosy.
Yes.
All right. Or maybe you see your best friend, she is on her phone and she is whispering to someone. Okay. And you think, oh, who is she whispering to? What is she saying? Who is she talking to?
Yes.
Okay, that is being nosy in English. You're trying to find out about what someone else is doing, even though it might be nothing to do with you. Okay. Okay, but
Yes.
you want to find out about what someone else is doing. So can you try a sentence using nosy, try me?
Uh, my neighbors are super nosy because
Mhm.
they always uh like complaining about another personal life.
Ooh, that sounds to me more judgmental than nosy, actually. Charlie, it's more judgmental. You could say, my neighbors are super nosy. They always want to know who is visiting my house.
Yes.
Okay, that's better. All right. My
Yes.
neighbors are super nosy. They always want to know who is visiting my house, even though nothing to do with them. Okay, that is what nosy is. All right, Feng Ling, Feng Ling. Okay, Feng Ling, nosy, nosy.
She's so nosy that she wants to find all our secrets.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so you want to find out our secrets. Okay, someone's being very nosy because they want to find out our secrets. So remember someone, and again, I'm doing these words just to expand your vocabulary, everyone. These words are all useful in English. So nosy just means you are always looking, or someone is always looking to see what other people are doing, even when it has nothing to do with them. Don't want to spend too much longer on this. So the next word is self-assured. Bao Trung, Bao Trung.
Yes.
Someone who is self-assured means someone who is self-assured is very confident. Very confident. Okay? Very confident. They are very confident. Can you try give me a sentence using self-assured?
Like he's very self-assured.
Yeah.
While in when we have a test, he always sure that he have the highest score in the class.
Very good. Perfect, Bao Trung. Perfect, Valtran. Good. He's very self-assured. When we have a test, he always thinks he's going to have the highest score in the class. Okay, so self-assured just means very confident. Another example, everyone, would be she's so self-assured. She never has any problem talking to anyone. Okay, so self-assured, by the way, is like the opposite of being shy. Self-assured. Someone who is self-assured is just very confident. All right, and the last one of these, not Kian, stingy. This word here, can you remember what stingy means?
Well, I have no idea about this.
Okay, stingy means you are very mean with money. Okay, you don't like to spend money. Someone who is stingy. Does that make sense, not Kian?
Okay.
Okay, can you give me a sentence using stingy? Remember, this is someone who doesn't like to spend their money.
Um, My friend is kind of stingy. He often gives free products.
Sorry, Nokian, the internet dropped out just when I got to the second part of your sentence. Can you start again, please?
My friend is kind of stingy.
Mm-hmm.
He often gives free products.
He often uses free products. That's not so stingy, Nokian. Okay, I think that's being quite sensible. Remember, stingy means you don't like to spend your own money on something. But using free products isn't necessarily stingy. Dat, can you try?
Stingy.
Stingy, yeah. Remember, stingy means you don't like to spend money.
I think my little brother is stingy. He never share me anything which my mother buy us.
Okay, good. Okay, he never shares anything which my mother has bought us. Has to be past tense, by the way, Dat. Okay? If your mother has already got you something, past tense, bought. Okay, my brother is stingy. He never shares anything that my mother has bought us. Okay, good example. Okay, and again, I will give everyone another example because I don't want to spend too much time on these. My friend is very stingy. When we go to the movies, he never pays for his ticket. Okay, my friend is very stingy. When we go to the movies, he never pays for his ticket. I always pay for his ticket. Okay, that means someone who is stingy. They don't like to spend their own money. So again, just in summary, and again, these words are just to add to your vocabulary, everyone. Someone who is blunt always says exactly what they are thinking or feeling, no matter what effect it might have on someone else. Okay, someone who is blunt is almost too honest in sharing their opinion, too frank. Someone is judgmental is someone who looks at someone else and judges them for maybe the sort of clothes they wear, the sort of motorcycle they drive, the sort of phone they have. Okay. Oh, that person must be very poor. They only have a very cheap phone. Okay, is being judgmental. That person is very poor. I can see they only have a very cheap phone. Okay, so I am judging them based on their phone. Does that make sense, Baoling? Hello, Baoling?
Yes, my connection is work.
Okay, so did that
Can
make...
you ask me?
I can hear you now, Baoling. Did that example make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, nosy, Feng Ni. Feng Ni. Someone who is nosy is what?
Someone is nosy mean they want to know everything about other people.
Correct. Good, Feng Ni. Perfect. Someone who is nosy wants to know everything about what other people are doing. Okay, very annoying. Someone who is self-assured, knock two, self-assured. Someone who is self-assured is what?
Is someone who never think they go bad.
That's right. Someone who is self-assured is very confident. Very confident. Okay. Someone who is self-assured, very confident. And the last one, stingy, which we just did. Viet Ang, stingy.
Stingy is someone don't save money and just
That's right. Good. Someone who doesn't want to spend their money. Okay. Someone who doesn't want to spend their money. All right. So blunt, judgmental, nosy, self-assured, and stingy. They are 5 new words to add to your vocabulary. All very common in English, by the way, those words. All very common in English. Okay, so we're going to go now. I'm going to leave out this bit until next time. Next week, by the way, I will get you to tell me about your dream job, but that is next week. We will do a speaking exercise where you will all get to speak. So now, just before we get on to this week's chart, just quickly looking at the homework. Thank you to those of you who did the homework. If you didn't do the homework, remember, please try. This is the way you're going to improve, by practicing these things. So just reminding you, subject-verb agreement was what we were looking at. And the definition is, if the subject is singular, the verb gets the S. For example, the bull eats the grass. The bull is singular, so the verb gets an S on it. But if the subject is plural, that is, there's more than one of them, the subject gets the S. So in this case, the bulls. There's more than one bull, so it becomes bulls, of course. So the verb doesn't have an S. The bulls eat the grass. Okay. So these questions were a little bit tricky because some of them, it wasn't so obvious what the subject was going to be. So I'm just going to go through these very quickly because some of you, a couple of you got 10 out of 10, which was great, but some of the rest of you made small mistakes. So again, just looking at these quickly. Kang Ling.
Yes.
What is sentence number 1, please? Can you read it to me with the correct verb?
Okay. Phương and her brothers are at school.
Okay, good. Are is the correct one, and it is are because Phuong and her brothers are plural. Okay, so when you have plural here, okay, Phuong and her brothers, more than one person, so it must be plural. You use are. If it is singular, it would be is. Is goes with singular, are goes with plural. So if the sentence just said Phuong, okay, Phuong is singular, so it would be is. Phuong is at school. But this is plural. Phuong and her brothers are at school. So is goes with singular, are goes with plural. Try me.
Yes.
Number 2, please.
Either my mother or my father is coming to the meeting.
Thank you, try me. Now, some of you got this wrong. Some of you put are because I'm guessing you thought that mother and father together was plural. In fact, little bit of a trick question. It says either my mother or my father. Okay, each of these is singular. One mother, one father. Okay, so it has to be is. Is goes with singular, are goes with plural. So my mother or my father, each one of those is singular, so it must be is. Fong Ling, number 3. Yeah. Okay, this one very easy. I think everyone got this correct. The dog is singular. Okay, so it must be is. All right. This one, quite a few people got wrong. Number 4, Bao Trang.
Yes.
Number 4, please.
Either my or your coat is always on the floor.
Okay. Now this one a little bit tricky because shoes are plural, but coat is singular. Shoes is plural because, of course, you have 2 shoes, but you have 1 coat usually. All right, so is it going to be is or are? In this case, it is, all right, because your coat, all right, is the closest one to this. If coat wasn't in the sentence, it would be are, because shoes, obviously you can see by the S, is plural, so shoes are. Coat is singular, so it's is. Okay, and because coat is the last thing mentioned, is the last noun mentioned, then you choose is. Number 5, Nok Kian.
Yes, teacher. Number
Number
5.
5, yeah.
Tom don't want to see that movie.
Okay, so it's Tam and Ha don't want to see the movie. Okay, don't. Okay, this doesn't is singular. Okay, but we're talking about two people here. Tam and Ha together. Okay, are plural. Two people. Tam and Ha. So it becomes plural. Don't. If it was just Tam, Tam doesn't want to see the movie. Okay, if it was just one person, it would be doesn't. But because there are two people here, you use the word that goes with plurals, which is don't. Okay, number 6. Number 6. That.
Hương doesn't know the answer.
Okay, is huong singular or plural? That?
Hương is singular.
Correct. Okay, so if it's singular, must be doesn't. Okay, if it's plural, just like in example number 5, if it's plural, it is don't. We had tam and ha, but because we only have huong here, singular, it is doesn't. Okay, number 7. Knock 2, number 7.
One day my sister is going to is going on a trip to France.
Good. One of my sisters is going on a trip to France. One of my sisters is singular. Okay, one of my, not all my sisters, just one of them. So that's singular. And remember, is goes with singular nouns. Okay, are goes with plural, is goes with singular. Number 8. Number 8, Feng Ni.
The man with all the birds lives on my street.
Okay, good. Thank you, Feng Ni. So quite a few people got this wrong. The man, okay, is singular. So looking at our rule here, if the subject is singular, the verb gets the S. The man, so the verb must have an S on the end, lives on my street. Quite a few of you got this wrong. I'm not quite sure why. Okay, maybe you people got confused because birds is plural, but the subject of the sentence is the man, not the birds. Okay, so the man, one man is singular, so the verb must have the S on the end. Bao Ling, number 9.
The movie, including other previews, takes about 2 hours to watch.
Okay, good. The movie, okay, the movie is singular, one movie, so the verb gets the S. Thank you, Bao Ling. And last one of these, Kang Ling, number 10, please. Kang Ling.
Okay, the players as well as the captains want to win.
Okay, want with the S or without, Kang Ling? With or without?
Without.
Correct. Okay, and the reason for that, everyone, the players, okay, the players, all right, is actually a singular noun, all right? The players want to win. Why, you might be thinking, but players has an S on the end. Surely it's plural. This is one of these exceptions where it's not. Okay, players is seen as one thing. The players. Okay, the players, okay, want to win. Sorry, I've explained that the other way around. The players is plural, okay? So they get the S. Sorry to confuse you. The players does get the S, okay, which means the verb doesn't get the S. Does that make sense, Kang Ling? Sorry to confuse you.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, good. All right. So again, just remember, I'm sure most of you know these rules. Okay, but sometimes with your writing and your speaking, you're a little bit careless and you forget to put an S on the verb when you should. So please, when you're doing your writing, please remember to check this, that the subject and the verb agree. That is, that when the subject is singular, the verb has an S. When the subject is plural, the subject has an S and the verb doesn't. Are there any questions with that? Okay, everyone, so time to do some writing. Try me.
Yes.
Okay, that question number 8, try me, the one about the man with the birds lives on the street. Why did you put lives? Can you remember?
Because I think the man and the birds are plural. So
Right. Okay. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So in this case, the birds doesn't matter. Okay, try me.
yes.
Just the subject is the man. All right. Forget about the birds. All right. So little bit of a trick question. So the subject is the man.
Yes.
Okay. And the man, because the man is singular, so it must be lives. That's why it's lives. All right, everyone. So back to this graph, the pie chart. All right, this is the last day I want to look at this, by the way. So if you're getting bored with this, don't worry. We'll look at something new next week. Okay, so again, just to remind you, okay, the pie charts show the online sales for different retail sectors in New Zealand between 2003 and 2013. Remember, this is how you pronounce a date written like this. Okay, 2013. 2013. Now, remember, we looked at what the story was for this pie chart. In writing task 1, you are always looking for the story. You are always looking for the story that the chart or graph or table is trying to tell you. Okay, and the story goes into what paragraph? Feng Ling.
Yes.
Okay, in what paragraph? What is the name of the paragraph in task 1 where you put the story of the chart?
The overview.
Correct. Thank you, Feng Ling. You are exactly right. Okay, so the story always goes in the overview paragraph. And I'm sure you all remember the overview is the most important paragraph because that shows that you understand what the graph or table or chart is about. So the next 2 paragraphs, which we're going to do now, are just description of what you can see. So again, I will remind you of what we have done so far. So this is the overview paragraph that I wrote. I'll get you to read it. Bao Trung.
Yes.
Can you read for me, please, the overview paragraph, which is the paragraph in red?
The overview, the red line here.
Yeah.
It can be clearly seen that the travel sector had the most sales in 2003 with more than 30% of the market. But 10 years later, film and music sales have become more popular than travel. During this period, spending on clothes suffered a sharp drop, while sales of books remained about the same.
Okay, thank you, Bao Trung. Good reading. So again, to summarize, you can see the travel sector had the most sales in 2003. Okay, travel is the blue sector. Okay, the word for this is sector. Remember, this circle is divided into sectors. This word here. So the travel sector, the blue bit, had the most sales in 2003. But 10 years later in this graph, we can see that film and music have become more popular than travel. Does that make sense, Viet Ang? Viet Ang.
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, so you can see how many sales in 2013 did film and music have, Viet Ang? What percentage of sales in 2013?
It about 30%.
How much
30%.
exactly, Viet Ang? How much exactly?
33%.
Correct. Thank you, Viet Ang. You are looking at the right part of the chart. Okay, so in 2013, 33% for film and music. All right, so that has become the most popular sector. During this period, spending on clothes suffered a sharp drop. Okay, not Kian.
Yes, teacher.
Not Kian, what was the percentage of spending on clothes in 2003?
21%.
On clothes, not 21.
Close. 24%.
Correct, 24%. Okay. How much did that drop by in 2013? Spending on clothes.
2013 is 16%.
Okay, so how much did it drop by? How much did it drop by? How many percent?
Let me calculate. 8%, right?
Correct, 8%. Exactly right. Okay, 8%. Thank you, Nokian. So again, hope you can all read the graph correctly. In 2003, it was 24% spending on clothes. In 2013, 16%. So it dropped by 8% in 10 years. Okay, so those are what I thought are the main parts of the story in this graph. So people's spending had changed from travel, okay, to film and music. So that's what we had in the overview paragraph. And that's what you all wrote about here last week. So what we're going to do now to finish for the rest of the lesson is you're going to write 2 detailed paragraphs, please. So the detailed paragraphs, you just need to pick out 2 or 3 things, all right? Or maybe a bit more, 3 or 4, and put them into 2 paragraphs. So you're probably thinking, what goes in which paragraph? Okay, so we have 2 detailed paragraphs, okay, and we have 2 different years. So what I would suggest for this sort of question is that in your first detailed paragraph, you write about what happens in Kang Ling.
Yes.
In your first detailed paragraph, you would write about what happens in, or what happened in.
I think I will write that the the number of travel is at the high top in 2003 is about 36%.
Okay, close, Kang Ling. I actually wanted a more general answer than that, so I will tell you. In your first detailed paragraph, you write about what happened in 2003, okay? In your second detailed paragraph, Bao Ling.
Yeah.
What will be in your second detailed paragraph?
I will write about 20 and 13.
Yes, you would write about 2013 and you would write about the changes. Okay, you need to write about what had changed. Does that make sense, Baoling?
Yes.
Okay, so again, to summarize, everyone, I'm making this a little bit easy for you by telling you the sort of thing you should be looking at. In your first detailed paragraph, you write about what is happening in 2003. Okay, what sector has the most sales? What sector has the second most sales? Okay, in your second detailed paragraph, you look at the changes that happened 10 years later. Does that make sense, Knock 2?
No, I didn't understand.
Sorry, Knock 2. So you're not sure what to write, or you are?
I'm not sure what I'm right.
Okay, so you're going now to write 2 detailed paragraphs. Okay, Knock 2? 2 detailed paragraphs. So over the last couple of weeks, we've written the introduction, which is a paraphrase, I'm sure you remember. We've done the overview paragraph already, and this in red, okay, is my overview paragraph, but the rest of you have also written an overview paragraph as well. Now we're going to do the T of pot. Remember pot, Knock 2?
Yes.
Okay, the 2 detailed paragraphs. So the first detailed paragraph, we're going to be looking in detail at what happened in 2003. Okay, just a couple of sentences, everyone. I only want 2 sentences per paragraph. Okay, in your second detailed paragraph, Knock 2, you're going to be writing what changes happened in 2013. Okay, what changed between 2003 and 2013? So that's your second detailed paragraph. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so again, everyone, make this simple. 2 sentences about what the graph shows happened in 2003. In your second paragraph, 2 sentences about the changes in 2013 from 2003. So I'm going to share the link with you now.
It just. I have a question that,
Yes.
as you say that in the first detail graph, we would write about 2003, what happened, and come the next paragraph, we would write about the change in 2030.
Yep.
So it means that we only make comparison in the next paragraph, not two.
Yes, you make your comparison, I think, in the second paragraph.
Only in the second?
Only in this, yeah, I think because we're doing this in a short version, so I only want 2 sentences in the first detailed paragraph, okay? So all I want to see in the first detailed paragraph is a description of what you see in 2003, okay? So the comparisons come in the second paragraph. That's when you are looking at 2013. Does that make sense? Okay, for this exercise. Now, Kang Ling, you are right in that you could write it the other way. Okay? You could say, for example, you could look at it sector by sector. All right? Which would mean in your first detailed paragraph, you could say, well, what happens to travel between the 2 different years? What happens to film and music between the 2 different years? In your second detailed paragraph, then you would have what happens to books between the 2 different years and what happens to clothes between the 2 different years. If you would prefer to do that, Kang Ling, please do so.
Okay.
okay? Because as always, Gemina, what I am interested in is your English, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So does that was a good question, Kangling? Good question. Okay, so you are right. There are two ways you can do this. Okay, it doesn't matter which way for this test because the test is of your English. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay, everyone, please start writing. If this was an exam, by the way, you would have 5 minutes to do each paragraph. So a total of 10 minutes. Viet Ang.
Yeah, teacher.
Viet Ang. How long do you have to do the task 1 essay in the exam? How many minutes?
About I can't remember. It's about 5 minutes. Yeah.
What, to do all of task 1? To do all of task 1? 5 minutes is a bit short. Can you remember?
15 minutes.
Getting closer. 20.
20. Oh, 20.
20 minutes. Okay, 20 minutes to do all of task 1. Okay, thank you, Viet Ang. So which means for these 2 paragraphs, you have a maximum of 10 minutes. So I'm making this a little bit simpler for you, okay? So I only want a couple of sentences in each paragraph, okay? Just a couple of sentences. Trami.
Yes.
Okay, Trami, I'm going to correct as we go to save time, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so figure is not quite the correct word, Trami. Not figure. Okay, what is the correct word? Begins with S. It became became the highest. Became the highest. Remember what are these? They are
sectors.
yes. Okay, so it became the highest sector. Okay. Does that make sense, Trami?
Yes.
Good. Okay. So you can use the same word again. It's okay. All right. You can repeat the same word for this. That's fine. Don't have to think of another word. That's good, Trami. That's your first sentence. Okay. Bao Ling.
Yes.
Okay, Bao Ling, your first detail paragraph is a new paragraph. Okay. So what should there be between these 2 lines? What should there be?
Like I have to backspace.
You have to put a space. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, please remember, in the exam, they would take a mark off for that. Okay, they would take a mark off for, you have to have a space between the paragraph. Okay, correct. That's good, Baoling. Okay, just please remember always a space. I know these are little things, Baoling, but they will take a mark off for that if they see that. Okay, and Baoling. Baoling.
Yeah. It's a
Okay.
little bit slow to change the app because I'm using my phone.
Okay, that's fine, Baoling. Don't worry. Don't worry. But Baoling, I want to change this. Okay.
Yes.
See where I have highlighted.
Yes.
Okay. It is better English to say this. All right. So you have exactly the right idea, Baoling, but better English to use this. All right. So you use one word instead of two.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Accounting for 36% falling to 29% in 2013. Okay. So that sentence is now good, Baoling. Okay. So just that one change. Thank you.
Yes.
All right. I leave you alone now. All right. Okay. Kang Ling. Hello, Kang Ling. Can you hear me, Kang Ling? Not listening. Come back to her. Okay. Okay. Feng Ni.
Yes.
Okay, Feng Ni, I know what you're trying to say. In 2003, the proportion of online sales of travel was 36%. Okay, so past tense, Feng Ni. So what should this be?
Was.
Correct. Okay, 2003 obviously is past. Okay, so past tense, which was the next word begins with H.
The highest.
Correct. Highest. And again, what are all these? Feng Ni, what did I call them? Begins with S.
Sector.
Yes, which was the highest sector. Okay. Okay. And then the next thing you would type is this. Okay. That's how you link to the next part of that graph. Does that make sense, Feng Ni?
Yes.
In 2003, the proportion of online sales of travel was 36%, which was the highest sector, followed by, then all you do is type in what was the next highest sectors. Okay. Does that make sense, Feng Ni?
Yes.
Okay. So when you are saying something which is the highest, then you just use this phrase, a phrase like this, followed by, and then you list the other sectors and their numbers. Okay. Kang Ling, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, Kang Ling, thank you. I was calling you before, but I think you turned me off. Okay, Kang Ling. So in 2003, the proportion of travel reached, okay, so this one here, Kang Ling. okay, should be a. Okay, not the peak, should be a peak. Okay, if you say the peak, it means it maybe is the only peak of the whole graph, of the whole essay. Okay, so just use a peak. Okay, Kangling?
Yes.
Okay, reached a peak of 36, which was the major online sale of the year. 2013, there was a significant drop of 7%. Okay, good adjective, Kangling. Okay, perfect. Okay. What is this word here, Kangling? Became. This word here. However, in 2013, there was a significant drop of 7%. And keep going. I want to see how you finish. Keep going, Kangling.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hit the
keep going. Keep going. I want to see how you finish the sentence. Oh, okay. There was a significant drop of 7%. Okay. Okay, that's fine, Kangling. Just one word missing. Kangling, you have one word missing. One word missing. Okay, and it goes in here. Okay. And it is what became the second biggest proportion.
Oh yes.
So what is the word that is missing?
That is maybe the proportions of travel, but can we use it? It became.
Yeah, correct. Or you can say travel again.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. That's all. The rest of the sentence is fine, Kangling. Okay. Okay. Feng Ni.
Yes.
I'm just checking to see what you've done. 2003, and this followed by 20. Okay. So here, Feng Ni, what I meant, you need to mention another sector. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so travel was the highest sector in 2003, followed by what was the next highest sector in 2003, Feng Ni? What was the next highest sector?
It's clothes.
Good. Okay. Followed by clothes. So that's what needs to go here, Feng Ni. Okay. So you need to say followed by clothes. At how many percent was clothes?
It's 24%.
Correct. Followed by clothes at 24%. Good. Full stop. Okay. Then for your second sentence, you need to say what is the lowest? What is the lowest sector in 2003?
It's books with.
Okay. Okay. So that's what you say for your second sentence. All right. And then that is your first paragraph finished. Okay. Then you do your second paragraph. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. Feng Ling, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Feng Ling. Sorry, just make him a gap between you and Viet Ang. Okay. In 2003, the highest online sales were made. Okay. Okay, Feng Ling, what is this? Feng Ling?
Oh.
All right. So what word needs to go after in, Feng Ling? Small word.
Okay.
This word.
Oh.
Okay. The highest online sales were made in the travel. sector. Okay. All right. Don't need which. All right. All right. Now it's correct. Okay. The highest online sales were made in the travel sector. About 36% of online sales. The next highest sector in this year was okay, and probably to make it shorter, Fengling, okay, you can actually take this out this time. The next highest sector, because you already said it's a sector, okay, in the sentence, the next highest sector was clothing, which was 21%. Good. Okay, that's fine. All right. Please go on to your second paragraph, Fengling. Okay.
Yes.
Now looking at the changes. Okay. Viet Ang.
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, Viet Ang, have you started yet? I can't see.
Just oh,
So Viet Ang, what you need to do for your first paragraph,
I'm
okay,
writing.
yeah, you need to describe just the main features of 2003. So the main features are travel, as you can see, is the highest sector, all right?
Yes.
With 36%. What is the second highest sector, Viet Ang?
Second price it closes.
Second highest sector is clothes. Yeah. So that's all you need to write about, Viet Ang. Okay. Okay. This is not so difficult. You don't have to think too hard. All you are doing is describing what you can see. So you can see in 2003, the highest sector was travel with how many percent, Viet Ang?
20
Travel.
travel it 36%.
Correct. Okay. So in 2003, the highest sector was travel with 36% of online sales. Okay. The next highest sector was clothes with 24%. That's all you have to write, Viet Ang. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's all you have to do. So please start writing. Don't have to think about this too hard. Just describe what you can see. Okay. Dat. Hello, Dat.
Yes.
Okay, Dat. Can you hear me okay, Dat?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay, Dat. As I was saying to Fengling, remember, you have to have a space here, all right? Have to leave a space between the paragraphs. Otherwise, in the test, they will take a mark off if you don't have a space, all right? That is a punctuation error. So you must have a space between each paragraph.
Yes.
Okay, the travel sector, all right. This word here, it's past tense, that, because of course you're talking about 2003. So this word must be what?
Accounted.
Accounted, correct. Has to be accounted. Past tense. The travel sector accounted for the highest proportion. Proportion of what? That proportion of what?
A proportion of.
What is the graph actually about? It is about
the online sales.
correct. That's exactly what you say. Good. Done. So that's exactly what you need to say. Okay. You need to say that. Which goes in here. All right. Can't spell. Aha. Okay, so see what I've changed at?
Yes.
The travel sector accounted for the highest proportion of online sales. So you need to say what is the proportion of online sales? About 36% of 2003. Okay, full stop. So this what you've said here, Dut, which is incredible. In this sort of exercise, you never say that. Okay? You are only describing what you see. All right, not whether you think it is incredible or whether you think it is bad, all right, or whether you think this is awful or this is really great. Okay, you don't say that in this sort of essay. You are only describing exactly what you see, not your opinion of it.
Yes.
Does that make sense, Dad?
Yes.
In the task 2 essay, you give your opinions. Okay. In this sort of essay, you don't give any opinion. You just describe what you see. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So all this can go. Okay. But in the next 10 years, the online, and online doesn't have an S, the online sale of travel don't need sector again, has dropped by 7%. Okay, that's fine now, Dut. That's fine. What is your next sentence going to be about? What are you thinking for
Next
your next
sentence.
sentence? Yeah, what do you think?
Mm.
So you've written about travel.
I think the next sentence is about
About
the books. I'm not sure.
yeah, what are you going to say about books?
Mm. I say the book account for
Mm-hmm.
the lowest proportion of sale online.
Okay, good. That's fine. That's fine, Dot. As I was saying to one of the other students, it doesn't matter too much what figures or sectors you choose, as long as you write about it correctly in English. Okay? So don't worry too much about which sector to choose. Books is fine, by the way. Books is fine, okay? But don't worry
Yes.
too much about this. All you need to concentrate on is writing correctly about it. So books is fine. So what you just said to me is fine, Dad. So write about that. Okay? That's fine. You have the right idea.
Yes.
Any question for me, Dad?
No, thanks.
Okay, good. Okay, knock two. Knock two.
Yes.
Okay. In 2003, knock two travel. Okay. We are talking past tense.
Yeah.
Knock two. So what should this word be? Not have, but
It's
sorry? Had.
yes.
Had.
Yeah.
Has to be had because we're talking about 2003. Past tense has to be had. But after 1 decade, travel dropped dramatically. Good. Good adjective, knock two. Good. From, and this is how you write this, knock two. Just watch what I do. And this is the word you use, okay? just like the Premier League table, knock 2. Okay, you look at what place they have, all right, in the table. With 29%. So the only thing you are missing from the sentence here, knock 2, is you need to say how many percent of sales it had here.
Yes, yeah.
So you are right in saying travel had the most proportion of sales with, how many is it, knock 2?
Let's see.
36.
Let's see.
But after 1 decade, travel dropped dramatically from first to second place with 29%. Okay, so that sentence is now correct, knock 2. So you needed to have the percentage here, had the most proportion of sales with 36%, and the rest of that is correct from first to second place, 29%. Film and music. Okay. So again, needs to be past tense, knock 2.
Yes.
So it's took, not take. Top place, okay. What year was this, knock 2? What year?
In 2003.
Sorry, did you say 2020?
And 3 or 2.
What year is the second chart, knock 2?
2003 or 2030.
Correct. And remember, you pronounce it 2013. 2013. Okay? So you need to say that in 2013. All right. Film and music took over top place. So rising from, okay. Okay, so that's fine, knock 2. Just one more correction. Knock 2, this word here, like film and music, the percent of books. It's not percent, but this word, knock 2. Whoops. This is the correct form of the word, knock 2.
Percentage.
Percentage, not percent. Like film, the percentage of book, you would have to say book sales. Also, and again, because it's past tense, this must become increased. All right. Does that make sense, knock 2, what I've done?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, good. Okay, bow.
Yes.
Okay, what have you got here? So don't need to use clearly see in this paragraph. Okay, Bao?
Yes.
Better to use, say, something like this, okay? What was number one in 2003? So in 2003, you need to describe in your first paragraph, well, what you can see in the graph for 2003. Okay, so in 2003, the top sector or the number one sector, okay, is travel. So you need to say that. That's the first thing you need to say. What is number one? And then you would say, what is number two? And then maybe you would say, what is last? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, then in your second paragraph, you would say, but in 2013, travel had dropped how many percent? Bertrand, how many percent? Dropped how many percent between 2003 and 2013? How many percent? 7, correct. Correct. Okay. In 2013, this is your second paragraph. In 2013, travel had dropped 7% to 29%. And the number one sector was, in 2013, what is the number one sector?
That's films and music.
Correct. Okay. So does this make sense, Bertrand?
Yes.
So all you are doing is just describing exactly what you can see in each graph and what has changed. That's all you are doing. Okay, very simple. So your first paragraph must talk about what is number one in 2003, followed by what is number two, and then maybe what is last. And then in 2013, you say, but travel dropped 7% and film and music was now number one with 33%. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, that's all you need to do. Okay, with these charts, that's all you need to do. Very simple. Okay, I know it's almost time to finish, everyone. Just quickly looking at Kian. Hello, Kian. Hello, Kian. Kian, can you hear me?
Kiên ơi. Nào, yeah. Okay, skip him please.
I will
Kiên ơi,
skip
Kiên,
him.
Kiên phải chữa ngay cái mic đi. Tại sao bà học bao nhiêu lâu rồi mà nói mãi cái chuyện đấy thôi con?
Dạ, cái đấy nãy con nói nhưng mà nó không lên được, nó không lên nổi.
Phải nói với mẹ thế nào chứ không thì mất thời gian mà lại ấy quá, học mãi vậy nó khó khăn ra.
Cái này cái mới rồi đấy
Không
ạ.
có đáng bao nhiêu đâu. Ok,
Cháu
nói với
vứt
thầy
cái cũ đi rồi.
Nói với thầy đi.
I'm still hearing you because my microphone has some problem.
Okay, Kian, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear
Okay,
you now.
good, good. Okay, Kian, so first thing you must do is leave a space when you start a new paragraph, okay? Like this. Okay, Kian, must have a space here.
Okay.
All right. Otherwise, if this was an exam, you would lose a mark for punctuation. Must have to have a space when you're starting a new paragraph. Okay, in 2003, that's correct, travel was the main sector. This is a better way to say this, Kian. Okay, this is the linking phrase, Kian. Can you see this, Kian?
Yes.
Yeah, what have I written? What is it?
Followed by.
Correct. Okay, so travel is the main sector, followed by clothes. Okay, so that's all you need to have, just this phrase, followed by. Okay, means you can take out all this. Followed by clothes with 24%. All right. Don't need to say of the pie chart. Okay, so end of sentence. New sentence. Oops. Sorry, everyone else. I'll be with you in just a moment. Film music with 21% was next. And books were only 19%. Okay, so again, you need a space here. But after 10 years, films and music seem more popular. Okay. So it's not seemed because you can see the exact figures. So you can say were, because you know this is definitely true. So you only use a word like seemed if you are not sure if it's true or not. But here you can see it is true. So you don't need to say seemed. Okay, and instead of saying rose up, better just to use this word. Climb to 33%, while travel. Okay, so past tense has to be had, not has. Okay, remember to leave a space when you're starting a new sentence, too, Kian. Another sector that decreased. Again, past tense, Kian. So what should is be? Past tense?
Was.
Yes. Okay, don't need that. Okay, the rest of that is fine, Kian. Okay, so please remember words like followed by. Okay, very useful phrase, followed by. Okay, everyone, you can stop writing now. Thank you. I know we've gone past lunchtime. So very quickly, we're now going to look at the homework. Okay, try me. Hello, try me.
Trà My ơi.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, try me. Can you see the homework? Can you see the homework page?
Máy con sao có nhìn thấy bài tập của thầy Giao không nhỉ? No. Yes.
Oh, she disappeared. Okay, Kang Ling.
Yes.
Can you see the homework page, Kang Ling?
Yes, I can see that.
Okay, good. Okay, so everyone, sorry to be a little bit late. This is your homework for the next week. All right? This is your homework. What I want you to tell me just in 1 or 2 sentences, what is the story of this graph? Kang Ling, very quickly, can you tell me the story you see on this graph? Very quickly. Can you see, what is one thing you can see? Oh, sorry, just before you start, Kang Ling, you will see this graph is a little bit different from other graphs. Okay, so it has an x-axis. Okay, it has a y-axis, but it also has like a z or z-axis here. Okay, so a little bit unusual. Don't often see this. So basically, everyone, this graph shows the number of people, okay, who left Ireland, left the country of Ireland over, looks like about 20 years. Is that right, Kang Ling? About 20 years.
20 years.
Okay. What is the first thing you can see? What is number one?
First thing I can see the number of unemployment rate was highest at the first, but after 20 years it will drop until a small level.
Okay, that's fine. So you're reading something. Feng Ling. Hello, Feng Ling.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for being patient, Feng Ling. Thank you. Okay, Feng Ling, what is the next thing you can see in this graph? So Kang Ling has talked to me about the unemployment rate. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What is one other thing you can see in this graph, in the story of this graph? What is one other thing you can see?
The people living island
Mm-hmm.
is job.
Oh, sorry, Fong Ling, it is cutting out a bit. Okay, I know it's gone past lunchtime, everyone, so I will make this a little bit easier and help you with this. So the first thing you can see, all right, this here is the unemployment rate, okay? The unemployment rate has dropped from 1988, okay, to 2008. The unemployment rate has dropped. Fong Ni, does this make sense to you? Fong Ni?
Yes.
Okay, so you can see the unemployment rate was about how many percent in 1988?
It's about 17.
Correct. It's about 17%. Okay, and by 2008, what was the unemployment rate, Fung Ni?
It dropped to 6%.
Correct. Okay, so that is the first part of the story of this graph. Okay, and the second part of the story of this graph, the number of people leaving Ireland also dropped over most of this period before climbing again over the last 4 years. All right, everyone. So the two parts of the story is unemployment in Ireland dropped over the period of this graph of 20 years. And the second part of the story is the people leaving Ireland also dropped, but then it started to rise again. So I want you to write me for the homework a couple of sentences describing that, please. So I've told you two parts of the story of this graph. Viet Ang, does this make sense to you?
Yeah, teacher.
Okay, so I just want a couple of sentences describing that. Okay, in correct English. That's what I'm looking for. So I've told you the story. The first part of the story is unemployment has dropped over these 20 years. The second part of the story is the number of people leaving Ireland has also dropped, but has started to climb again. So I just want a couple of sentences telling me that in English. Please email that to me. Okay, does that make sense to you, Dat?
Yes.
Okay, Dat. Does that make sense to you, Bao Ling?
Yes.
And Trami, does that make sense to you? We lost you for a while, Trami, sorry.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, good. All right. So if there are no more questions, again, sorry for being a little bit late. Sorry for holding you up. Please go and enjoy your lunch now and have a nap if you're a little bit tired. And have a good week. And I look forward to seeing your homework. Okay, just 2 sentences. That's all you need to tell me. 2 sentences about that graph. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday, everyone. Okay? Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.